Welcome back, and joining us on the show now is Peter McGuire of XM Australia. Peter, hi, thank you for joining us. I want to start with the gold prices trading at a two-year lows now. From a high of 2,052 to 1,660 right now is quite a bit of a climb down that gold is done. And we are waiting for yet another interest rate hike. Would you say this is exactly what the gold is factoring in right now, a 75 to even 100 basis point rate hike?
Well, good afternoon, Manisha. Yes, absolutely. And I won't be surprised. 3 weeks ago, you wouldn't have thought there would be any chance of 100 basis points. And now I think that's where the tide is turning. So no one's going to be surprised if Jay Powell and his team hit for 100. Gold has really been hammered and King Dollar is reigning supreme. It's just been one-way traffic. Have a look at the rupee, have a look at yen, see what all the currencies are doing. And yeah, I think there's further upside yet for that King Dollar, Manisha.
Well, yes. At 1,660 now, what is the kind of strategy that you would advise for gold? Are we headed further lower down here? Should you wait if you want to buy for an investment point of view?
I wouldn't be surprised to possibly wash a little bit further out. It's been hit pretty hard and that momentum is certainly softer. It's hard to find a floor at it. Might be a 1640, 1630 handle, but I think the gold's good days are ahead of it. I'm not suggesting that anything is, too negative about gold, but at the moment, there seems to be a lot of pressure on dollar up, gold down, and that seems to be the trade at the moment, Manisha.
So, Peter, if somebody wanted to make a strategy, usually it is about markets factoring in, and when the event actually happens, you see some relief buying coming in. Is that what you're expecting for the next 1 week?
Well, I think that at the moment there seems to be a little bit further softness, and I won't be surprised. I've got to just see what happens as far as Powell's comments and what happens, geopolitically and all the big themes running across from dollar and how much further upside as that dollar got in the short term, and that's going to be the dampener for gold. So I won't be surprised to go a little bit shorter yet and wash out a few more bucks.
And for the dollar index, what kind of levels are you anticipating? I mean, I was reading reports about 111 and 13 and beyond.
Manisha, it's now at 110. I mean, it's 109.81, and I think that's probably got the potential to be at 110 tonight. So there we go. So it'll be a 111, 112, 113, I think, of the new handles. Everyone's saying you could see euro sitting at 97.5, 98. So there's that, and pound going to 112, 110. And yen is the new line in the sand, 150. So, yeah, dollars really, I see it on the screen there, 109.89. So it's a bit up. And, yeah, I think tonight will be a stronger dollar, 110 for sure.
For the Indian markets as well, it's below 50,000 rupees per 10 grams is where we've seen the gold prices come in. And yes, the investment demand, the jewelry demand clearly seems to be picking up as we are into a festival season right now. And the wedding season begins from the mid-October, November 1st onwards. Peter, what's your sense also on silver? Because that really seems to be following the other base metal prices, which clearly aren't doing that great as well. After that initial pullback from the kind of lows, we haven't really gone anywhere in sense of direction for the base metal prices. But I'll start with silver first. And how do you see it as it trades below $20?
Well, it's currently, I got silver on COMEX just under 19 bucks at 18.97, Manisha. So I think there's probably further upside for that. It's well down and it's probably good buying. If you're buying for a longer term, then silver's the one, and certainly for physical. And I think the same for gold, definitely. But yes, the base metals, everything's dragging lower, dollar's raining, and that's where everyone's hiding to. So yeah, the silver market's probably got a little bit further softness, but when you're looking at that big ratio, gold versus silver, you'd have to say silver's fairly cheap at the moment.
All right. And how are you looking at the overall base metal prices? And at these current levels, what's your sense? Is there a buying opportunity here, especially for something like an aluminum and zinc, where we hear more capacity cuts continuing in Europe?
Well, exactly right. So they've been well and truly hit hard. And they've really come off, big pressure to the downside, certainly with aluminium. And even copper's come back at, 7,700 a metric ton. So, yes, it'll be good buying opportunities. I've got to see what's happening as far as China, Manisha, and, the overall themes coming out of there. They're certainly worrying about their property market, the global demand picture. We've just got to see how that all beds down over the next month or so. There's a lot of uncertainty out there, and I think this lead up to Christmas is going to be one for a lot of big volatility moves.
Okay.